Hello? Can you hear me? Just like that, we often change the way we speak to older adults in a phenomenon called Elderspeak. Changes can include speaking slower, louder, and in shorter sentences. The reason we use Elderspeak as adults is likely due to stereotypes we make about the capabilities of particular age groups. For example, some elderly people have hearing issues, but we generalize this as all elderly people and subsequently adjust our speaking to every older adult. Elderspeak by young adults, unfortunately, has been linked to negative consequences for the older adults they speak to, including low self-esteem. Elderspeak by children to older adults remains unstudied and therefore a topic of interest, as stereotypes children develop can potentially become ageist. To resolve this unstudied topic, a team led by Alison Flamion sought to investigate whether 7 to 12-year-old children change their speech to accommodate older people and their attitudes towards them. To do this, experimenters had 132 children participate in 2 Skype sessions, one with the 25-year-old and one with the 75-year-old. Half the children interacted with the older adult first, and the other half interacted with the younger adult first. They then played a game where the children had to describe a selected word until the adult guessed it. The adults could only respond with written responses rather than speak, so the speech behaviours of the children, including loudness and time spent speaking, could be measured with audio software. The second part of the experiment was examining the attitudes of children towards older adults and rating their competence to judge words correctly. The competence of the adults after the game was rated by the children using a highly incompetent to highly competent scale. Children were then asked to list 5 words that came to mind when thinking of older people. These words were then rated as either positive or negative. For example, grandma is positive and wheelchair is negative. Findings from the experiment include some data demonstrating that children spoke louder to the older adults and spoke to them in longer sentences, which differs from young adults who use shorter sentences. On average, they also rated the older adults as less competent. Interestingly, these changes in speech by children were correlated with positive views of older people. This means that children may not be adjusting their speech due to negative stereotypes about older people, but rather because of well-meaning prejudices. As this was one of the first studies investigating Elderspeak by children, it cannot be stated with certainty that all children use Elderspeak, and if they do, if it's linked with a positive perception of older people. However, further research in this field can help us examine ageism by bringing awareness to the topic and helping us identify where ageist attitudes originate from and at what age to then prevent it. The full article, Speech Accommodation Towards Older People and 7 to 12-year-old Children, is published by the Developmental Science Journal in 2020 and is publicly available.